Welcome to the Tone Jerks podcast. I'm your host, Brian Gower, and with me today we have...
Kyle McIntyre.
Oh, it's a special episode.
We've been waiting a long time.
Long time for this one. This is episode 69.
69. Cue the air horn. Machine guns and explosions.
Yeah, and like
the translation there.
Like a toilet flush and dog barks. And fart noises.
Hell yeah.
Fuck, we need a soundboard.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're here. And
episode 420, we'll do a bong rip or something.
Yeah, I'm gonna hit the binger, dude.
The binger? Is that a thing? Your beer got all foamy. We could hear it getting...
That's dumb. So, for episode 69,
man,
we are going to make it a week-long event.
Woo!
Something we've been talking about for a while. We are going to do Weak-Ass Topic Week.
Hell yeah.
We're going to do every day, Monday through Friday, we're going to release mini episodes of...
Aren't there 7 days in a week, Brian?
I'm only
work. This is the work week.
I want to work. You know, this is my
We're working for a living.
My twerk week.
You go to work. I get it.
Yeah, we go to work. And you shorten it by saying I'm going to work. We're gonna do shorter episodes, mini topics of non-gear related topics. Yeah. So if you this is your first episode, sorry.
Backpedal a little bit.
We kind of do. It's a music guitar podcast, but we are deciding to do. Sometimes we do non-gear related topics because Kyle and I are friends and we like to talk.
Yeah,
and that's what we're doing this week. But before we get into our first weak-ass topic, what's new? Let's catch up, Kyle. What is new in your world? What is shaking? What is grooving?
Oh man, this is actually a pretty big event. Like I shed a tear when I acquired these new gear items.
What'd you get?
I got a DM2 and a CE2.
Boss
pedals.
These are the
Japanese
non-Wazacraft ones.
Non-Wazas.
The OG.
Black label.
Yeah.
Man.
You're part of the society now.
Yeah. I'm in it, man. I've waited so long. I've waited a whole year.
Yeah.
Yeah, and actually I brought them to practice.
Yeah.
And I was like, fuck it. You know, I have my 4 pedals that I use for bass,
yeah.
Yeah, and I'm like, I'm not going to unplug. So I just played what I had plugged in, and I did those two. And I enjoyed it, actually. I thought it was great.
Yeah.
Brian didn't, though.
It was not good for our sound in the band, but it was like it was
definitely a different sound.
Well, you brought them because you're like, I got these, I'm gonna fucking use them. Yeah, just use them for practice. But I'm like, oh,
it was cool
to have chorus going the whole time and a slap back delay the whole time on bass. I'm like,
yeah, I did slap back, so it was a nice quick delay.
But I'm like, okay, cool. All your attack
it muddied up a little bit.
To me, I'm like, okay, all the attack for like, think of like 210 BPM punk rock or like sometimes double time punk rock. Not your best bet.
Don't tell me this, Brian. Sounds like you're yelling at me.
But
no, and I get that. It was cool because I've never really used effects.
Yeah,
it was like I'm using 2 at the same time. Fuck you. Fuck
and then
all you.
Brian and I were both like, "You sure you're doing that? Oh, you're okay. We're doing.
You're doing it.
A whole 2 hours of that. Okay, got it." And you're like, yeah, it was cool.
We're still alive. We made it through.
We made it. We're stronger now for doing it.
Yeah, you're like, never do that again.
And I'm like, oh, what'd you think? I'm like, well...
Yeah, you told me immediately after.
I'm like, I couldn't hear your bass at all. And you're like, I could hear it. I'm like, well, it's because you're standing directly...
Exactly.
To, like, a foot and a half in front of 350 pounds of amp. I better hope you fucking hear it.
Yeah.
You're like, I can feel it. I'm like, okay, all your low and like low mid frequencies, they're gone, Kyle.
Yeah. You know what? It was a learning experience for everyone.
Worth it.
Yeah,
100%
definitely worth it.
It was practice, and that's where you're supposed to try those things. But I mean, it's a cool pedal set that you got. Where'd you get it from?
I got it from Moe's Guitar, actually, out in La Mesa.
So here, local
so
shop.
Local guy, yeah. So they had posted on their Instagram, and basically they posted both of them, and I was like, shit.
Immediately, I think I tagged you.
Yeah, you tagged me.
And you're like, messaging now.
Message uploaded.
Yeah.
Transmission. Anyway, so yeah, I hit them up, and they told me what they wanted for them, and I went out there after work.
Yeah.
And dropped some scratch, and while I was actually already out in La Mesa picking up the neck that I've talked about before.
Yeah, you had that
dropped off that Strat Warmoth neck. It's all ready to go onto my Meteora.
Yeah.
In quotations.
Yeah,
Meteora.
Yeah.
When it comes in. It's ready to go, man. That thing's awesome.
And then, so you were already in the area because the shop, Top Gear, that you took it to, is really close to Moe's. You're like, fuck it, I'm already over here.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck, I'm going to go look at these pedals. And then once I walked in, I was like, I'm buying these pedals.
Yeah, and they give you a little bit of a deal.
Yeah, they gave me a deal. Like they're like, "Fuck,
if you're buying both of them."
Thanks, buddy, for taking these off our hands. They're burning a hole through our display cabinet.
But I'm like, oh man, and they're in really, really good shape.
Man, I'm surprised. Like,
they look new.
You look at ones on Reverb, and you're like, man, the mojo is looks cool. Like when they're all fucked up.
Yeah,
they look really cool. You're like, shit, I'd still play the fuck out of that.
Yeah, because then Johnny has one that we borrowed.
Yeah, and it's got what's cool about Johnny's. It's got chips everywhere, basically. I'm not going to sugarcoat it.
Yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
But you can see the different colors that Boss painted the pedal.
Yeah.
Before they decided this enclosure is going to be a C2.
Yeah.
Like, oh, it was a yellow. I think there's even like a green.
Yeah.
And then it goes to blue. And you're like, fuck, what were they doing? Was that primer? I don't know.
They're just like in the shop.
It goes through a bunch of paint. Yeah, I don't know. What the fuck were they thinking? Like it's a waste of money.
Yeah, who knows?
Or powder coat. I bet they're powder coated.
Yeah.
But anyways, these are in such good condition.
Yeah, they look brand new. It's like I wonder what the story was.
They're
behind
like
them.
early 80s.
Mm-hmm.
And they are so good. Like,
yeah.
And I got a good deal on such a really good the condition.
Yeah.
I look at other ones and I'm like, whoa, for pristine, it's like pushing top, was it 270 or?
Fuck.
I'm like, fuck, man.
Yeah,
I got a really good deal.
Yeah. Well, you gonna say what you got?
Yeah, I got them for $175 each.
Yep.
So
that's
drop some money, but
yeah,
I
but
think
I'm like,
it was worth it.
They're still cheaper than a lot of used ones, or I mean, a lot of vintage ones that you would buy, and even they're cheaper than some used Wazacraft ones that you would buy. So the made in Taiwan recreations of those pedals.
Yeah,
and I'm like, that's pretty cool. So that's a pretty cool buy that you got. I'm like, I've only heard them on bass. I want to.
And they sound like shit.
No,
apparently,
they sounded good.
They sounded good, but just not for our style.
Not in our mix. Yeah. But I don't want to check them out.
They're cool,
guitar.
and the DM2 gets to that crazy oscillate. It gets there. But what's interesting is most of the time, it's reverse on some of the pots than your carbon copy or your other delays, which they go to the left to get your time faster.
Yeah, and it's kind of weird because they were some of the first ones. So you're like, okay, Jesus.
Yeah, it's just a couple. I don't know, probably the Bucket Brigade. I think that's what it's based on. Bucket Brigade. Yeah,
I mean those are badass. I'm stoked for you. I was legit. I'm like, you texted me that you got it. I'm like, what? I'm fucking stoked.
Yeah, as I walked in, they were still there. I'm like, all right, well, pull out the card.
Puching.
And then I got a DOD 250.
More pedals. Okay.
Yeah, I got another pedal. So it's also a vintage one.
Yeah.
So it doesn't have an LED. It doesn't have the 2.1.
Okay, yeah.
It's the headphone jack.
Headphone jack, yeah.
Yeah, and
power, yeah.
I playing it and I'm like, is it on? Click it off, click it on. Oh, it's been on.
Yeah.
Yep. It's just I'm so used to seeing an LED and going, yep, it's on. Instead of being like, yeah, I've been playing this for 30 minutes. Is it still on?
Yeah, so I mean,
it's weird.
Yeah, so when I came here the other day that you had that and you had the Distortion Plus kind of set up and stuff like that, I'm like, that sounds pretty damn good. And I'm like, I remember okay, I I don't know. Maybe I have a bad recollection. I'm like, I remember the Distortion Plus being like kind of underwhelming. But I'm playing that again, and then also playing the DoD 250 because they're a similar circuit. I think they just have a couple different components.
Yeah, and they're both yellow, so they sound the same.
Yeah, of course, and they have two knobs. They're perfect, exactly the same. You're playing them, and then we basically hooked up the DoD 250 with all your other DoD pedals, and I was like, oh, it was a lot of fun playing that. I'm like, man, that sounds so fucking good. I'm like.
It actually has it's like a different sound than I think for me different than the Distortion Plus. It has it sounds like it has a compressor,
or it's more compressed or maybe more saturated. But also I'm like, I'm pushing these, or we're pushing them into an 80-30.
Yeah, not a bad amp.
So I'm like, oh, these sound great.
They sound so
I think
good.
we've said this before. I'm like, yeah, we put like a stock DS1 into that, and I'm like, or a stock Metal Zone into like the 80-30. I'm like, this sounds fucking
sick. This is
the
best amp ever.
Or like, these are the best pedals ever. I'm like, and I know people say like, there's better amps, but quit being such an Orange fanboy. I don't think they say that.
Such an Orange snob.
But it's such a great amp. So I'm like, it's hard for me to like determine, I'm like, are these bad pedals? Because I'm like, oh yeah, because you got it for pretty cheap, right?
Yeah.
And so I'm like, that sounds fucking great.
I'll tell you, I got it for $80.
Okay, well
and that's a pretty good price for like
a vintage one,
like late 70s.
But even some of these old MXR ones, I'm like, you're putting them through the 80-30. I'm like,
yeah, it's not a very good judge. Maybe I need to get like a Spider or like a Katana or something.
Yeah, I think you were talking about getting, or even was it Stuart Tate? He got that Pedal Baby, which is the
Pedal
clean,
Baby. Yeah,
it's a solid state. Pedal platform. So
what is that? Is this a power amp or what?
Kind of with like a 2-band or like a high and low EQ and a volume. That's all it is.
That's
and it's
cool.
like you have 100 watts of clean. I think it's solid state, but it's also like Class A power.
So will that power a cab?
Yes, that's what it's meant for. And it also has a DI. So Stuart Tate from Tate Effects, he posted a video and a picture in the group about like hit that with his Antares overdrive going into it, just into like, I think he did just the DI, like a quick video. I'm like, it sounded fucking great.
Yeah.
And I'm like, because he was talking about like the Andertons video sounded like shit. There's a couple videos out there of it. It's like, because Andertons, they get them in, they're like, we're trying to sell this. So that's a brand new release date.
Andertons, was that in the UK?
UK.
Okay.
It's with like Lee Anderton and Rob Chapman.
Oh, yeah,
part of that, the whole crew. They're big internet thing too. And so like they're a big shop over in the UK. And so they get all the stuff. So like they get it in before release date. So they do all these like videos highly produced and stuff like that, and trying to showcase the thing. And it's like, man, that thing kind of sounds like shit.
Ooh, yep, pass.
And so he got it, and it sounded great. It made it sound good. So he's like, man, this thing sounds pretty good. And he like, you test it out at a show, and you're like, well, how good can it really sound?
Yeah.
But it's cool. And that might be kind of a cool thing to get, like that Pedal Baby, and put it on top of the 80-30, and you can just like turn it off.
What are those running for? Do you know?
Or I don't know how much.
Like 2, 3?
Probably 5 or 6.
Oh, yeah, let's get one.
But I mean, you can get one of those Pedal Babies and put it on top of the 80-30 and just like, switch and use the speakers of the 80-30 into that.
Yeah.
Or whatever.
You pull a plug, or does it have a dedicated out, or what?
It has a speaker out, and you just do that. Yeah, and the 80-30 does, and just use the speakers of that, whatever. But no, that'd be kind of cool to try, like, I think like a different type of like, because I'm like, I think you and I are both like using like oranges or like, really nice amps to test pedals. I'm like, man, these all sound really fucking good.
Yeah.
Or I'm like, oh, I'll try to record something with my Fractal, which is like
another
really good
in a different class, but also really good.
And I'm like, oh, maybe if I got like like
we should just start buying shitty equipment.
I don't think
entry level stuff.
I don't think that's worth it. So it's like we're not doing demos or anything like that. So why?
Okay.
So why? Anyways. Where's this tangent going from?
Get that struggle.
I'm just
get that struggle.
I'm derailing your what's new. What else? What else you got?
I still had one more thing I want.
Give me the last what's new. What you got?
So I buckled down. Okay. And
pulled your bootstraps up.
Yeah. And
getting into the thick of it.
I shopped on eBay, and I was looking for a controller for my Xbox. Okay. So I I was looking. Actually, I built my own. You can build your own controller with like different colors, and I built one on Xbox. It was like $75 or $80.
Jesus.
Yeah, for one that was built for you. Pick the colors, pick the different buttons, pick the triggers, pick different things. Right?
Triggered.
Custom. Thanks, Brian. Customize that.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, you know what? Fuck. They made one that I kind of want.
Yeah.
But it was sold out. Moved over to eBay.
Yeah.
Found it. It's like a OD green, you know, if you know what that means. It's like a military green.
Olive drab.
There you go. Olive drab green. You got it.
Boom shakalaka.
It's a nice control. I bought it used for like $40.
Okay, so half off. Yeah. Boom.
Fuck. So I'll still probably buy one of those custom ones.
Super tactical.
But, now I have one that's not broke dick and broken and shit.
Yeah, because you had all these like broken like Xbox controller parts that you're like, I have modded pedals. I can fix a controller, right?
Yeah, let me get into that. So I had one that I bought on Craigslist that turned out to have like, it would never connect. I bought it, and I should have tested
it
right
was
then.
all clogged up with like Cheeto dust and Mountain
Probably.
Dew.
It sounded like someone threw it across the room because it had like a rattling part in there, which it could have been just a piece of plastic.
I lost that Ratchet and Clank. Fucking shit.
Ratchet and Clank. Shit. Well, the problem is that's a PS4 game.
I know.
You're trying Xbox. Fuck.
Everybody. Yeah.
You're playing the demo video.
That's why it doesn't work. I'm stuck on the main screen. Fuck.
Yes.
So we're getting too silly.
It was like fucked up. So I'm like, well, let me just take the parts from here because like I play enough that like the plastic wears out in certain areas. So like you let's say I'm playing Red Dead, and I run forward and I go to pull my thumb off of it and it continues to run forward because
you're getting that like relic wear on your Xbox controller. The shit that people love and pay extra for on their guitars. The Mojo. You're getting those Xbox Mojo controllers.
No, man, this is worn out. Like it would stick. Yeah. So I basically, because I'm the crafty guy that I am.
Yeah.
Sometimes I pulled it apart and I was like, you know what? I can save this thing. I can save this. Let me see what's wrong with it. So I sprayed like the cleaner.
Medic!
Yeah. Corman! So I sprayed it.
Yeah.
Left it to dry. Came back and like all the plastic parts on it melted away.
Oh.
But I was able to, I'm like, fuck. So I had to save the parts that I really needed for my current controller.
Yeah.
And I rescued that one. So that one's good now.
Yeah.
But I'm like, I didn't really need one, but I bought another one.
Yeah.
So
it makes sense. If you have a bunch of like cool pedals and stuff like that you're putting money into, it's like, and you also like to play video games, step that up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? So nothing wrong with that. That's cool.
Yeah, that's my really long what's new. What do you got?
Well, hey, I'm already looking at the timer here. It's going to be a megasode. This is going to be a week long, jerk long 69. If you guys didn't think we were going to do something cool for episode 69, you
fucked up.
You were wrong. Anyway, so I got what's new. I got a couple things. So we're going to hash that out real quick. So you've been talking about it on the past episodes, and people know that you got a couple big MXR pedals.
Yeah.
The stereo chorus, you have the delay, all the AC, powered cables.
The ones where you have to have a power strip
kind of deal. And then the flangers, so all the big ones. And
there's other ones which I might have to get.
But yeah, no, so I played the three that you gave, you had those, I borrowed them because I can play them here and I can only kind of get a feel for them with the guitar that you have and stuff like that. But I wanted to play them at home. I was like, okay, cool. So you dropped a box, them off at my house. I'm like, cool. So I had like
I delivered them. I did a UPS.
Yeah, hand delivered. And yeah, it was cool to really try them out on my rig. And yeah, so
what were your results, Brian?
So the analog delay, which is the green one, which is kind of like the carbon copy is based off of that.
Yep.
That one sounded really good. The one that you had has
it's modded.
It's modded. So it has two outs, which originally it was a dry out and an affected out.
Yep.
And so this one was modded to have the dry out changed to an affected out as well as the affected one, which I think was left alone. And but the dry out.
But you found different than what the reverb description was. It sounded like, oh, these are both wet. You know.
So I have 2 amps at my house. So I decided to like play them in stereo. Why not? Because fucking you have 2. So 2 is better than 1.
You have more than 2 amps. But.
Well, 2 is better than 1. So yeah, I do. So I decided to play them. Yeah, let's get it in stereo. And I was like, okay, cool. One thing that I figured out is like the affected out, or the one that was like dry, is now constantly affected. So even when you turn the pedal off,
it's always on.
It's always a delay.
So it's like the exact opposite.
Yeah, and it's always a weaker delay. It's no matter what you do, it's always lighter and it's always kind of going on. It'll change with the time and repeats, but the mix will always be lighter. And
so it still can be adjusted, obviously,
but it won't always.
But it will never be turned off.
Yeah,
it's probably because they tapped into the dry line.
Yeah,
and okay. I probably can figure out what they did.
But anyway, so I did that, and I'm like, maybe because I've played more modern delays that are stereo, I'm like, this is kind of like, it's really lackluster because it's going like the same time. I'm like,
it doesn't
2 amps.
do
I'm like,
the ping pong. It
that kind of thing, but you can't even change
pan.
that. So I'm like, okay, why even do this? I'd rather just have a dry. I think a dry and affected would be cool. But,
so maybe I need to adjust that one.
Yeah, get in there and just like change it. But
it's probably like 2 wires they fucked up.
But it was cool. It's definitely, it sounds really great. And you had mentioned before that it sounds really great for like slapbacks and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
And it does. It sounds great. It's like, it's more subtle than a carbon copy. And it's like even to the modulation and stuff like that you can add to the repeats and stuff like that. I mean, it'll still self-oscillate, but it's going to be a more subtle effect. Yeah,
so it's good for that. It's not going to be an overreaching delay that does some crazy shit. It'll actually self-oscillate still.
Yes.
I can probably look like, oh, well, these are the adjustments that have been made because I can see the soldering is new.
Yeah, and then try and fix. I mean, it's not bad at all.
Yeah.
I had mentioned this as my favorite one is the flanger.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds so fucking good.
Yeah.
It sounds great. I think we've talked about like one of our favorites earlier episodes and stuff like that is the EVH MXR flanger. I had it and we played it for a while, and Kyle, you borrowed it for a while.
Yeah. I remember that being so good.
It's really cool.
But
it's an 18-volt deal, and that's not it's not bad, but it's also like,
well, it's better than like 120 volt.
Yeah. It got so extreme.
Yeah.
Like, extreme.
You had to like, and there like, was it 4 knobs?
Same deal as the gray one, the flanger that you have,
the OG one,
the AC one that you have in your possession. But it had, it was just everything. Every knob was so fucking extreme. It's like it was hard to dial in to me.
Yeah.
At least when I thought was playing it, it's like, fuck, dude, it's hard to find a good sound.
And you ended up just hitting the button,
which was the EVH button, which
sounded fucking great.
Bypassed everything and gave you a setting that was like the EVH.
Yeah. So you spent like what, 150, 160, almost 200 on that pedal?
I don't remember, but it was
to have just the EVH sound,
which actually sounds damn good.
It sounds good, but you're like, you can't ever get away from it because you don't want to spend 4 hours dialing in a tone.
And then so I was like, okay, cool. And then the thing is, flange is such an effect that you're like, well, how much do I want to dedicate?
Exactly. Use that for like certain parts or like a bridge. Mm-hmm. You don't use it for a whole song.
And then so I was like, okay, flanger is never really a huge thing for me.
Yeah.
I'll dial in a thing in my fractal and be like, I call it a day. One setting, I use that and just copy and paste it for all my presets. And then I'm like, okay, cool, whatever. And then I have also the Southampton, the utility knife.
Yeah.
And that's really great,
It's in
too.
there.
It's in there. It sounds good. It's a good flanger. Sounds great. Who cares what we're doing? Hey, bingo, bango, bongo. And then I was like, I played this one. I was like, whoa, now this is the flanger. Like, if you're like a flanger guy, this is it. This is what you want. And I'm like, because it's subtle. You have more of a control over your thing. You're maybe less of a sweep than the EVH flanger.
Okay.
Which is like, some people are like, I want an extreme as fuck. Well, cool, then get that one. But this one's like, I want to be able to tweak and dial in and find
you don't have to own your whole whole tone.
Yeah.
And that's what it does.
And it sounds great. And I was telling you, I'm like, this is the winner of the bunch. I'm like, this is one that like when we go to the studio to reamp all the plane tracks, I'm like, let's bring this one. This is the flanger sound that I want. I'm like, it's easy to find. And then the last one of the bunch was the stereo chorus.
Yeah, what'd you find out about that one?
I found out that this thing is broken.
Yeah.
So we had talked about it when you got it.
When I got it, you're like, oh yeah, a super subtle chorus.
Exactly.
sound.
And I was like, okay, cool. I'm kind of taking your word for it. I'm like, I can kind of hear some chorus in there. And I was like, oh, well, it is stereo. So sometimes with stereo, you will hear them because they're bouncing and talking to the other ones. I'm like, it's probably meant to be stereo. So I'm like, guess what? At Kyle's house, he had a 1 amp.
Yeah.
And so, it's going to be running mono. But at my house, I had 2 amps. So I ran it stereo. And your boy found out it's broken.
Yeah.
I found out that like the width and speed knobs, like, okay, I'd crank those. I'm like, okay, like I'm not getting anything out of this. So I cranked them all the way up. And then as I twisted the manual, which is the mix knob, I would start to get like, whoop, whoop.
It would blip in basically with the actual mix.
Exactly. And then I brought it back to you, and then you had to go at it.
Yeah, and so I found the same thing with the manual knob, right? But the speed knob was working, right? And then I got the manual knob working a little more.
Yeah.
And now the speed knob doesn't work at all.
Okay.
So I found like a wire that was like barely connected.
Yeah.
So I stripped it and resoldered it and I removed the chip and put it back in just to see if there's some corrosion. Because I noticed there's some corrosion in there.
Yeah. It's an old pedal.
It's an old pedal, right?
Yeah. Give it a break.
Give it a break.
It's a Kit Kat bar.
Give it a break.
You throw a Kit Kat bar at it.
Boom. Didn't fucking work.
What? You don't want that? I guess I'll take it then.
What is this, a union break? Let me get you some more.
You say we're not working? Oh, we're working.
We're working. So, yeah, basically what I'm thinking is the chip is working because you can actually hear the chorus.
Yeah.
Barely. But the pot, I think the speed pot is fucked.
Okay.
I think it's just old and needs to be replaced. So I'm going to take it to a shop just to replace it. I don't think I want to fuck with it. I'm going to get since it's so old.
Well, I'm saying, like,
I could do it. I could really do it.
We have some listeners of the show who are pedal builders. I think we should do a call out. I mean, can Kyle send you his stereo chorus?
I need your help.
He needs your help. What's the Star Wars line? You know it. Andrew Walsh, he knows it.
Andrew Walsh can insert this.
He can insert that. Maybe we can send it to him. Kyle needs some help.
Jojo O'Rourke, you're my only hope.
Yeah. Kyle needs some help. Like, can he send you a stereo chorus and get it fixed and get it working again? It's a cool pedal, and we want to get it up and running.
What's funny is, like, there's shielded.
Like funny haha or
heh. It's more like that. So there's shielded, like cable, like not cable, but wire in here. And there's like an unshielded wire that runs like the full length of the enclosure. I'm like, why didn't you just run, like, unless it's grounding against all of the...
Yeah.
There's 3 knobs, right? Yeah. And then it goes right up to... It goes right into... I can't remember.
Yeah.
Into a switch. I think it goes into the actual pedal switch. But it's like, why did you run that one unshielded line unless you were meant to link between and ground all of them? I don't know.
Who knows? But
fuck,
we need some help. So we're calling you on. You know how I call?
You're my only hope.
Sean, Joseph, Alex, Leon, somebody. We need your help. We need help fixing this and getting it up and running. But I had another what's new. It's not involving you. I guess
cool.
Kind of.
Yeah.
So on Reverb,
everything involves me.
I've talked about selling a bunch of shit, but I bought something.
Fuck you! Wait! You've actually bought something.
Well, I mean,
it's been like weeks, Brian.
I know. Like
you got that.
I'm in the spring cleaning.
I gave you that honeydew list, and finally,
I'm just like, okay, I'm getting stuff out, and I decided I saw it. It's something that I've always like looked at. I'm like, oh, it'd be kind of cool to have. And the thing is, you have it in the latest version, the Southampton 5th gear overdrive. He originally put it out as a mini pedal.
Yeah.
With only one knob as the gain.
Yeah.
That was it. You turn it on, there's a gain. That's it.
That's all you get.
That's all you get. And so I'm like, okay, I saw it and I was like, oh man, that'd be cool to have. And then it's like, it's discontinued. And I saw it on Reverb and I was like, okay, cool. this is going to be me. And so I bought it, and legit, I need to borrow yours again. Like,
all right, because my doors are always open.
Because I was playing it on, I was playing it in, just on my guitar and my amp 8015 or whatever. I'm like, this thing sounds legit. I'm like, I want to say it sounds different. I'm like, I don't know. Okay. I'm sure it does because he changed it to make it sound different. I'm like, what?
Sounds like we gotta do a shootout.
That's exactly what I want to do. And I was like, I gotta do a shootout. So I had a funny, just a quick, story here. It's like of the reverb transaction. I feel kind of bad for the guy. So he was selling it for he whatever. We're talking numbers here. He was asking for $100, which is not bad.
That's not bad.
Yeah. For it looks great
for a boutique pedal.
Yeah,
handmade in Canada.
Yeah, great guy, great company. And it's like, cool. I want that. So I of course you're gonna dick him down. That's what you're gonna do. He has the offers up. So I hit him up okay, $80 because he had $100 free shipping. It's not bad.
Oh yeah.
And then so I'm like, okay,
you gotta take advantage of that.
$80 free shipping. And then so he said, oh, hey, would you do? And he said, countered 90. I'm like, perfect, I would do 90. And he said, hey, man, I'm shipping.
I do 120.
Yeah, if I'm, I don't know about that. Yeah, I probably would. So he said, hey, let's do 90, and or what about 90? I'm gonna have to ship it all the way to San Diego. That's kind of a long,
Where was he at?
From Ohio or something. It's gonna be a lot for shipping. And I was like, yeah, that's fine, because I was prepared to pay $100 pretty much.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, let's do it. And so I'm like, cool. And so I got it, and I was like, he shipped it in a fucking giant box, like a shoebox size.
It's a mini pedal.
It's a mini pedal. So think of
a huge
shoebox size box, and it cost $15. Because I saw the price, he paid $15. I'm like,
he could have done the
padded thing. I'm like, oh, dude, I felt bad for him, but I'm like,
the postal service, a flat rate. Come on, man.
Anyway, so it's like those are
because he's trying to skim. Actually, he probably didn't.
No, he lost money.
He lost money on it. He probably spent like $17 on shipping that.
No, it said the price on it of how much he paid. I'm like, okay. And I was like, fuck, dude. And then you got to think of and then he got Reverb taking a credit off of it too. I'm like, man, that guy got screwed.
He lost money.
He got screwed. But I got it, and I'm like, sorry, buddy. I'm like, you should have gone a padded envelope. Whatever. It sounds great. I'm stoked on it. And like I said, I want to try and just compare it to your newer one. I'm like, I don't know. I mean, maybe the newer one is more with the more knobs. It's like more options.
Maybe we're skipping over the actual mini, the original.
Yeah, the mini one I really dig. I'm like, man, I added that to my mini.
Is
settings.
that 65 Mustang on there though? No,
it's not. It's just
that's what's cool about mine.
So I'm super stoked on that.
That's where all the tone comes from.
And I'm like, it's new pedal day for me. And I was like, I'm really digging it. That with my Riot, and I'm like, dude, that sounds fucking great. It's good stuff.
Dang.
Okay, that was a long-winded but worthy 69 episode. What's new?
Yeah.
But we're having fun. We're having a couple drinks. Drinky poos.
I haven't dipped into my whiskey stash in a while. And
so we're here, and we're drinking it.
And when you're here,
your family.
You're in the jerk lounge.
Yeah. Okay. You're jamly?
Ruining your jerkly.
Yeah, we're jamly. We're jamming. We be jamming? I don't know.
Either way.
That was all bullshit. Let's keep on going. Let's go on. Let's go on to the topic. So we're going to go on to our first weak-ass topic.
Yeah.
Of weak-ass topic week. That's so dumb. You guys are probably like, God, you fucking piece of shit. Well, we're going. This is the first one. So I wanted to do a non-gear topic.
Okay.
Kyle, we have mentioned earlier episode with the one that we did with tone control about your El Camino. You got that up and running.
Yeah. It's running.
You got your motor running.
It's not stopping.
On the highway.
Yeah, maybe not on the highway. It's still on jacks.
It's still up on my driveway.
Whatever goes my way.
So, it made me think of it's a cool car. You have a couple cool cars.
Yeah.
You have your Vic. Crown Vic.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's a sweet ride. And then you have a 65 El Camino.
Yep.
Chevy. Nothing wrong with that.
Both
pretty good.
Full-bodied V8s. All I have to have is just get that 8-track of Radar Love, bro, and just hit the road.
Golden earring. Oh man, that is another topic for another day. I'm saying driving songs.
Yeah.
Golden earring is going to be the number one. I mean, spoiler alert. Anyways, I want a topic I had. Dream cars. What's your dream car? Your dream vehicle?
I mean,
what is the one that is in your mind?
The
baby?
one, I think there's probably 18.
Okay, well, let's narrow it down.
The list grows. So the first one that comes to mind, super rare. I would probably never have the opportunity to own one. GT40. And that is and I'm talking about the 60s original.
Okay.
GT40 vehicle.
What?
That's basically a car that was made to run races around Le Mans.
Oh, damn.
It's a French, it's a French thing, Le Mans. It's a 24-hour race basically, and Ford basically entered into the arena and basically killed it. But it's a cool looking car. That's really it. They have made renditions of it, which both they've done the original and then the one that came like a couple years ago or like 10 years ago, and then one that came like last year, and all of them have killed it.
Yeah.
They're amazing. It's a great body style.
It's all about that body.
Man, it is so cool. But the thing is with my stature and my girth, I'd probably never fit in one because they're wide. They are so cool, like the body style. They took cues from European design, which is cool because like Ford in the 60s, you think like rocket taillights and galaxies and falcons and stuff, but this is like
very cool,
completely different.
It
is so different. It looks more like a Ferrari.
Okay,
so that's my first one. So I got multiples.
Okay, well I'll bring this up. I'm less of a car guy and
more of a car guile.
Yeah. Whatever the hell that means. A gargoyle?
Yeah. Or like when the sun comes up, like, you freeze.
Instead of a gargoyle. Yeah. Okay, got it. Whew, that was a stretch, and we made it. We're like Stretch Armstrong with that one. So, first one, cool one that I would always think is really bitching to have would be a Chevelle 70s.
Fuck.
Super Sport.
All right. I was going to say you stole this from me, but I'm going to join you on this one.
I want the 70s Super Sport Chevelle.
Fuck yeah.
I want it black. Oh, the two stripes.
That Chevy A body.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I'm like, a two-door baby. That one. Woo.
Dang. What color? I mean, come on.
Black, white.
Black, white.
Black
with a white stripe.
Yep.
Racing
you better
stripe.
believe it. Actually, white with black stripes would be cool.
White with black stripe.
Either one, I would take it. I'm not gonna say no. I'm not gonna say no. Either one.
Those early 70s muscle cars, just about any of the big three cranking out, those were so good.
So good.
So like late 60s, early 70s, you could pick any of those.
Yeah.
So fucking good. So this is a little off the path here. CJ8. You ever heard of that?
I have no idea.
It's a Jeep.
Yeah.
It's a Jeep, right? It's the extended bed. So it's not like the standard square. It's like a rectangle.
I think I'm gonna have to do like let's do a Imgur link, and we'll get a couple of these pictures in this episode.
I think we'll have to do that just to have an example.
In your podcatcher, you will see a description. Click that, and you'll see pictures of these.
So it's still a 4-seater, all right, but they called this the Scrambler.
Yeah.
And this is before they started making the truck body. So this is the CJ8 with a truck bed, but also 4-seaters. So you can get if you put a hardtop on this thing looks like a Frankenstein mobile, like from like the Scooby-Doo movies. It looks cool. Yeah. It looks amazing.
I was gonna say, Sprinter van.
Okay.
Big old Dodge or Mercedes-Benz. I want it tricked out. I want it to I want to tour in that fucking thing, and I want to get it like feeling good. I want to have benches and maybe like beds in there, and I'm like, we can sleep in there and just crash wherever rest stops or whatever. Yeah, and then we can haul all the gear, and it's gonna be comfortable, and we got the games.
Dude, I've actually been shopping for those.
All right, well, keep shopping and buy it.
think I'm gonna have to build one.
And like put all the games in there, put the the videos and sound system in there, so it's like we can just like live in that motherfucker and like get like a little mini fridge or a spot for the Yeti cooler in there. I'm like, oh man, because when you're on tour, you want to like that's your house, that's your spot. And the thing is, I love sleeping in the van because I'm like,
too. So much better than a hotel, so much better than a friend's house,
and then like I can't say this in a better way, but like we're all sleeping together.
we're all sleeping in the same space,
and we're here, and we're like that. Experience. I'm like, dude, we're in this, man. We're like, we all have each other's backs. Like, if
we're in it to win it.
And the thing is, I'm like, if somebody was gonna kill us, they're gonna kill all of us.
Yeah.
And the thing is that you're just sleeping at a park.
Yeah.
There's somebody throwing a frisbee with a dog, and we're like, we got you. You fucking come at us. And
you incite violence.
Yeah. I'm always the one. I'm like, I'm gonna grab a couple Milwaukee's best and crawl into the back of the van
and crash out.
And
if anything happens, don't wake me up.
I'm gonna take a couple sleeping pills and beers and crash out.
Yeah. If I don't wake up in the morning,
check to see if I'm
call
breathing.
an ambulance.
And I'm like, we've done it a couple times. I'm like, we're in tangent now, but it's fun. I love touring, and it's so much fun. We're gonna do it probably later on this year, but if we did it in a Sprinter, I'm saying that would be like a decked out Sprinter. That's my dream, a decked out Sprinter, because I want to go and I want to roll in class, baby, but not in a tour bus, because that is fucking dumb.
Yeah.
But I want to do like a Sprinter, but like decked out for like 3-4 people, maybe.
All right.
You got a couple more? Let's knock them out.
All right. I'm fucking shotgun round.
No, that's machine gun.
That's not a shotgun.
Look at you, idiot.
I really bad want an El Camino.
You have one.
Oh shit, is that what it is?
Well, check it off the list. You got it.
Right, boom. A Volvo 240 wagon. Fuck, I love those. I had one. I had the sedan. I want a wagon so bad. So bad.
I'm sure it wouldn't be like more than like $2 or $3 grand.
Dude, probably $1 grand. I could probably talk them down to fucking $650.
So just don't buy pedals for like a couple episodes.
Just buy, you probably like
get one.
2 or 3 pedals.
Yeah.
VW thing.
Okay.
All right. The thing is about the thing. VWs for me, I look at them and go, oh, those look really cool. They're so underpowered.
Yeah.
You're like, you can't like, oh, wow, look how big my motor is. It's like, wow, look how barely I can make it up this hill. Anyways, VW thing, that would be cool. They just look really cool. A VW Beetle with an oval window.
Oh, okay.
Usually, and I probably wouldn't be able to fit in one. They usually have this like the rectangular rounded windows, but if you get the oval windows, those look so cool.
So sweet.
They have like styling like a Bugatti if you look at them from behind.
Yeah.
Oh man, I watched Blues Brothers the other day.
Yeah.
Man, they drive around in a 74 Monaco. Okay, it's the police car they drive around in.
Yeah,
but it's funny is they get chased around by a bunch of other like state troopers and the same vehicle, if you notice.
Yeah.
It's the same car.
Yeah.
Man, such a great police vehicle. If you look at like classic movies and you see it's just such a great looking car. You have Polaris, Dodge Polaris, but this is the Monaco.
Yeah. That's a dream car.
Yeah, that would be such a great.
Another cop car. Be good.
Well, what's it?
Black Sheep cop car.
It's a Caprice.
Hell yeah, dude! A Caprice. Oh my god, with the nitro boosters. The thing is, I want them leaking.
You go faster than 7, though, right?
7 miles an hour.
I mean, with the 250 Hemi and
unless I'm chasing a cute chick in a Ferrari. 7 miles an hour. Oh, he was. I got a perp back here. He was caught screwing a beagle. Screwing a beagle.
Like David Spade, like he raises his eyebrows. Whoa.
He raises his eyebrows and like, hey, he's like, Jesus.
But you get him out of here a little quicker than 7 miles an hour.
Oh man, that's good. That's a bitchin' car, actually. All right, well, that was cool. That was a cool one for our first weak ass topic.
Yeah.
Let's close it out here. We're not going to do this for every episode, but it's the first one. So if you guys like what you hear, you guys can check us out on the social medias. Check us out on Instagram. We have the Facebook group. Check us out. Search the Tone Jerks. You will find us. But if you guys really like what you hear, you guys can help us out by supporting the show on Patreon for as little as $1 a month. And we need to give a big shout out and dedication. Number 69 to push us over to $69 a month. I don't want to be the asshole who's like, this is how much you make in a month. But I'm like, this was like a kind of like the circle, like the moons aligned, the stars aligned for this one. We are now making, $69 a month. That was like dumb fucking goal.
Yeah, we made it. We can quit now.
Episode number 69. We're doing it. And our
we have
boy,
a lot to thank to our boy,
our homie, the one, Mr. Doug Christ.
Yeah, Doug Christ. This is the Doug Christy 9.
This 69 is dedicated to Doug Christ. Whenever you think about 69, think about Doug Christ.
Yeah. Thanks, Doug.
But I mean, he pushed it up just to get us up to 69. And it's a lot of fun. And it's you guys are tuning in, and if you guys can't support us, that's fine. The fact that you are tuning into this right now and listening to us is more than enough.
Thank you.
But we wanted to give a shout out to everybody who's supporting us. Yeah, we want to give a little shout out. Kyle, you have a list. You better give it to me. Bye.
I have Jim Bowers, Jamie Davis, Co Schneider from the Flippin' Flippers, Adam Rohr from the Let 'Em Hear podcast, Abe Newman, Mikkel Newman, Andrew Walsh, Jason Fuzzmonger, Will Lehue, Doug Christy 9, Doug Gann, Doug King, Johnny Ray, Joseph from Like My Pedals, Kevin Equitz from Equitz Guitars, Leon from Pelican Noiseworks, Sean Arbo from Gun Street Wiring Shop, Steve Mike, Steve Conradi, Sean Fahey, Bruce Banana, Digger from Fatfoot Effects, Brett Alexander, Colin Smith, Alvaro Viramontes, Nicholas Payson, and Brian from Nutter Guitars.
Woo! So we will see. Thank you so much for everybody.
Thank you
for supporting us, and we will see you tomorrow with another weak-ass episode.
See you tomorrow.